Hello dear coffee lovers, now we have something special, the new Bezzera machine with heat exchanger and vibration pump called Luce. Luce in Italian means light, so we can say back to the light somehow, and this is a very nice heat exchanger machine with vibration pump. By the way, my name is Markus, in case you don't know me. So here we have for the Luce two versions, okay? This is Luce S manual and the Luce S PID. So it means one time the pressure is fixed here by the presser start, and the other time the pressure or temperature is variable due to the PID, so you can move with pressure up and down as well as temperature, because pressure in the boiler and temperature are proportional. So here we can see the boiler, the new boiler. I disassembled here the chassis in order to have a look at the boiler. It is copper and 2 liters of volume. And here you see the simple version with the presser start. So with a screwdriver you could theoretically adjust the pressure, but I recommend just to leave it as it is. And in case, you can always ask a technician to do so. Here we have as a next part the overpressure valve of the boiler. Then here temperature probe, and here we have the valve where we can adjust by the bypass the pump pressure, which goes to the brew unit. And this one I will show you then during the movement with the blind filter, okay? Here water tank is filled with water. Machine is already in on temperature. This you see then with the manometers when the boiler manometer is above 1 bar, and here the brew unit is hot. Then you can say, okay, more or less temperature is reached for brewing coffee. This needs more or less 20 minutes, and yeah. So what is new in this machine is the insulated boiler as well as the hydraulic circuit near the pump is made new in order to reduce the water consumption, because normally when you pull up the lever here, then water runs down, and here no water runs into the drip tray, only when you discharge the valve a very little bit. And the reason why we save the water is shown here behind the machine. Here we can see this circuit. Here is the water coming from the water tank to the pump, and then it goes this way here by this small Teflon tube here up to this bypass, and here the pressure reaches with 15 bar this valve, and some water still in the cold water circuit goes back here to the water tank. Okay, so here this way this pipe, this Teflon, this silicone pipe goes back to the pump, and so by this there is a minimum of wastewater, and this is really cool. What I like personally very much, and yeah, it's a cool system. And as we are here now with this valve, I will show you then how to adjust the pressure, okay, the brew pressure. So I will move in front of the machine with my blind filter. I prepared it already here. So here inside, normally with a single spout, you have the one espresso filter, but I removed it for the blind filter. So here, we already discharged the water of the espresso cups, which we will use later for nice espresso. So we have already warmed up, which is cool. So now I insert here this one And then I only need this Allen key, number 3. And now we see here 0 bar, and now it will move up. And so here we see I set it at 9 bar, but you can also increase the pressure here. Let's say maximum here, or I would say minimum here. Okay, and when you adjusted the pressure, then it's fine. Of course, now the machine is open, and I will show you how it will look like. We can see it here, for example, at this machine. Here. Here, so you go in with the Allen key number 3. Here you have a minus, here you have a plus, and with the plus you increase the pump pressure, or the pressure goes to the brew unit, and here you reduce the pressure. Okay, so quite simple, and you always have to do it with a blind filter. That's really important. Otherwise you will not receive a good result, because this small vibration pump needs a pressure. Okay, and now what else is to say? Yeah, I mean, it's a normal heat exchanger machine, so in my opinion we can show now how it works together with the grinder. For this, best is always to have a hot filter holder, so it should not be cold. Okay, this one should have more or less same temperature as the brew unit. And then I just go to the grinder, to the BB005, and as I have no exact clue how much I will get from the coffee powder, it's always good to weight the filter holder to 0 it. So my preference is between 16 and 18 gram, okay, for a double. For a single, I would say between 9 and 10 gram. Of course, it depends on the coffee you use, on your personal taste. So now I start with almost 3. And here the numbers mean here is just a start and stop. And the further I turn this button, the longer the grinder grinds. So it extends the grinding time. I just do like this. And the basket should be more or less full. Yeah, 19.3 I would say is the real maximum. For an afternoon espresso, quite good. So in case you're a little bit sleepy, you can wake up. Now I use this distributor, and with the distributor, of course, you can adjust the height. Okay, just loose here, and then you can adjust the height of the leveler. Okay, then fix again, and so it's fixed. And here you put it here and turn around, so it's fixed. In case it's not equally distributed before the leveling, you can also use this one, this distributor for the coffee powder I just show. So you put here, and this one you move slower, and this is especially interesting when the coffee powder clumps a little bit. Then you can remove the clumping, okay, by these needles, so then the electrostatic effect is less. And yeah, now here, leveling in step number 2. Step number 3, the tamping. For the tamping is important to be parallel. Okay, so I put it here, and then with my 3 fingers I can feel more or less the parallelity, and yeah, so that's okay. And now we can use the scale, as now here we have no orientation, no shot counter, nothing. At least the minimum I can do is to see the flow rate a little bit. So with my watch I can check. Also here I can adjust the timer, but I do it in the classic way. So now I insert here with the pump. I activate the pump. And now we will see the result. Now it slowly moves and yeah, color looks quite nice in my opinion. So in between 20 and 25 or 30 seconds you can then stop the extraction. And yeah, so this is the step number 1 for the espresso. Okay, and now it gets interesting because I don't drink now, I just take a spoon. With this spoon I can equalize a little bit the aromas, as the density of all the extracted coffee particles is not equal. This is why the taste is different when I use the spoon or I don't use the spoon. Okay, so test. Yeah, nice. It's a 90-10 mixture, so 90% Arabica, 10% Robusta. Yeah, taste is really different. So I also made a video, also the idea from Coffeemacher with the vibrator, and so there is an influence of the taste of the coffee. But now, last but not least, is also interesting to see the skills for cappuccino. Okay, this is also important. So now I empty my filter holder, flush, of course, this is very necessary. Here on this box we don't have so much space, but here look, the cake looks quite okay. So consistency is okay, it's not too wet. So, and now of course I want to remove the old coffee powder. And now, as I now use the cup as for the zeroing the weight, I will now have to zero the filter holder again. Yeah, good. And I go to more or less 3 on my grinder, and now I'm activating the button. And you see, yeah, that's a little bit too much, but yeah, in this way I can check now. So, yeah, 17 grams for me is fine. Now I will use first this tool to equalize a little bit coffee powder, and then step number 2, I use the leveler. Step number 3, the temper. And now step number 4, discharge the condensed water here. And here we can also see the thermal stability of the steam boiler is quite okay for a heat exchanger, in my opinion. So it's more or less okay. And for this big cafe latte cup, of course, I use the double, the filter holder with 2 spout, okay? So I insert here, start the extraction. And this I can do now optically, as first extraction was already okay. Now it should move a little bit faster because I used less coffee powder. And now I start the steaming. First of all, you should hear the sound. And here you can check the way of the extraction. Now as it gets hot, I stop the steaming. Here, always remove the last remaining of maybe some milk drops inside the steam pipe. Check here again, extraction, yeah, looks really cool. And flushing to clean for the next espresso. Use the drip tray, clean afterwards. So yeah, that's okay. Now we can insert again. And now here I have to homogenize the milk, because there are two phases like the liquid and the foam. And if I don't homogenize it, then I do not get a good result, okay? So you can also do like this. When you have a big bubbles, just put the hand above the jug here. Yeah. That looks nice. Now I have too much milk, so therefore I can remove a little bit. And here with such a big cup, yeah, I can hold it with a little angle so my surface is bigger, and then I can try to do something. Yep, you see? This is how you can do. For right-hand people, always put the handle on the left side, and for left-handed people, always put on the right side, because you pour in the opposite direction. Okay, in German it's called spiegelverkehrt. I forgot the English word, but doesn't matter. So even now, in my opinion, it's okay, but I will taste it, of course, even it's after noon. And we are in Germany, there afternoon cappuccino is always allowed. Cool, nice. So now the last feature I want to show is how to discharge the boiler in case you go on holiday. Yeah, you don't want that the water stays for weeks in the boiler, so therefore there is a kind of a discharge valve, which I can show here. It's this one here, okay? You remove here, and then we have a special pipe, a stainless steel pipe. Here you can connect here. So it should be okay. And now here you see with this, now I just need to correct a little bit the bottom, because here we have this kind of canister. And so I can I put it down. Now everybody saw this kind, and now I open the valve here, and by opening the valve here I can discharge the water of the boiler, okay? You can see here. So then the water of the boiler gets discharged, and this is quite cool. Here, especially when you're, let's say, when you go on holiday, then the water of the boiler doesn't need to stay all the time inside, because it's not so good for the machine, okay? So then again here, closing. And here, fixing, yeah, okay? And not like a blacksmith, but with some feeling, okay, not too extreme, don't tighten too hard. It should not be opened by hand, but yeah, not with too much power, okay? So just a little bit, okay, and then it's tight, and here is the valve anyhow, so it's safe. Okay, cool. That's it, more or less, what I wanted to show you about the Luce. It's available in 4 colors: stainless steel, white, black, and army green. Army green I did not have here now, but everybody can imagine how olive green looks like. So these 4 colors and 2 versions of the machines. So yeah, and as you see, even with such a simple grinder, you get a really excellent result. And yeah, so I'm really happy with the machines. Also, I like the optical appearance very much. And the old logo, this logo is now the new one. It is, I think, started in 1906 with the first Bezzera machines shown at the Milano World Exhibition, and there they had this logo. And so what I can say is a simple, cool machine. I like it very much. It's really, yeah, reduced to the necessary. What I also forgot to mention is that the chassis is complete stainless steel 304. So as you see, even here the bottom, so this is not steel, this is stainless steel, so all is stainless steel. We can also see it here on the top. This one is stainless steel. And here, when I remove the drip tray, is also stainless steel. And here below is stainless steel. So this is quite cool, in my opinion, okay? Very nice solution, and yeah, I like it, okay? It's a nice design also here with the knob on off. Here you see when the heating is activated. Here you see the light is shining. Light is on when there is enough water in the water tank. When there is no more water in the water tank, then this light switches off. I mean, when I now lift up the water tank, it shall switch off. Yeah, as you see, no water in the water tank, and here everything okay. So off and on. Then it needs, of course, some time to reset, and yeah, so for me, zack, needs several seconds, and then okay. So here, a really cool, simple, nice machine. I like it very much, really cool. Okay, so now it's up to you. I hope the video was good for you, brought you some new insights, and yeah, thanks a lot. Ciao, all the best. Yeah.